their respected brothers and sisters, we now come to our feature address by our learned scholar, Dr. Waffie Mohammed. Our learned scholar, Dr. Waffie Mohammed, is presently the principal of the Markaz Ihsaan. He has written many books on Islam, including this qasida book that we have here. And many books that he has written on Islam, with his vast amount of knowledge that he has, vision. We welcome him here at Cedros to share with us some of his knowledge and to influence us to become better human beings to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to the obedience of the Prophet Mohammed sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But this morning's topic, the mission of man's life on this earth, which is very important for us to understand. So let us listen, inshallah, attentively and try to convey the message to those who are not here and to our brothers and sisters, our family members, our friends and our relatives in the wider community, inshallah. Without further ado, we now welcome our scholar, Maulana Dr. Mohammed, inshallah. Please, so much.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa yawmiddin. Brothers and sisters, we are indeed extremely happy to be with you here this morning. And we beg Allah to bless us with guidance and protection. And may He enable us to understand the reason why we were sent in this world and what should be our purpose in life, what should be our focus in life, what should be our goal in life. As human beings, we need to understand, first of all, what is life? We see all around us, Allah has created so many things. And Allah, the great Lord and Creator and Sustainer, He takes care of everything. But first of all, when we see life, what do we need? According to the dictionary meaning, life means the following. Number one, the ability to utilize the things of nature to produce energy. I am feeling down and out, and I get a good meal that Cedros people prepare. My body will take that food and it will utilize some of it to produce energy. So I will no longer be down and out. So the ability of an organism to utilize food to produce energy, that is one of the definitions of life. Secondly, as we get along as all creatures, as they live, they will be having constant, some cells, some tissues will die. They need to be replaced. The human beings, the cells of the human beings, all of it are replaced entirely over a period of 7 years. So the ability to replace tissues and to grow, that is another definition of life. When they cannot replace tissues, when they cannot grow up and get bigger or smaller, that creature is no longer alive. So another definition of life is the ability to grow and to replace the tissues and cells in the organism. Another very important thing is the ability to get rid of the unwanted cells and the unwanted things in the body. expression. So you see, the living creature expels from the body. For human beings, either through perspiration or expression or urine or whatever it may be, the ability to expel from the body the unwanted components that may be the expression. That is another manifestation of life. Another one is, if we feel hot, you might want to get some outside air, take the fan or so, or change the weather. If you go in a cold country, you will want to wear warm clothes, and so you will see, if you look at the plants, if you put a plant near to the window, you will find it is bending towards the outside, responding to external stimuli. That is another definition of life. What is life? If we have to go in the water, you'll have to make preparation. If the fish, how it lives in the water, it responds to what is outside here, responds to external stimuli, and that is another manifestation of life. Also, if something important doesn't happen, the species may go out of existence. So, the living creatures reproduce, and that is important. Now, all these things that I'm telling you, except reproduction, man has invented machines. Do a lot of them. Very soon man may invent machines to reproduce machines. Whatever it may be, God knows best. In addition to all these things, the higher creatures, they have mental, they have mental behavior. They behave in certain ways. And these are the expressions, these are the manifestations of things that have life. Brothers and sisters, Allah says in the Holy Quran, He tells us that He created life from water. All living things except human beings were created from water. But us, Allah has made us special. There is no doubt about that. In addition to all these qualities of life, Allah has made man a special entity, a special unit of creation. Why? Because we were not created like the rest of creatures. We were created special. How? Allah tells us that He is the creator, number one. And number two, He created all living things from water. And number three, He created human beings maybe slightly different. Because we were not created from water. What were we created from? Faith. We were not created from water. You know what is a manifestation of the grace of Allah? You know what is a real manifestation for those who would want to become that? Every human being, every single human being was created from a tiny speck of dust. Microscopic speck of dust. You can't see it with your naked eyes. That tiny speck of dust grew into a microscopic creature called the soul. We started life in this world as a tiny speck of dust which could not have been seen with the naked eyes. So you came into existence like that. I came into existence like that. Every one of us. How did that speck of dust got life? And that is something we need to think about. How did that tiny speck of dust taken from the earth, how did that begin to move and grow and change and became transformed and finally resulted in a human being. That is something that we need to think about. Allah tells us in the Holy Quran that He has honored that speck of us. He has given us honor. Verily, we have honored the progeny of Adam. So you see my difference. We are special. We are different. We are supposed to be an entity. An entity. Each and every one of us. We are supposed to be an entity representing Allah in some form or fashion. Verily, we have honored the progeny of Adam, provided them with transport on land and sea, given them for sustenance things good and pure, and conferred on them special privileges above a great part of our creation. See what Allah is saying about us? You see what Allah, look what Allah wants from us. To be special. To benefit from what He has created in the universe. To use it for our existence and survival. To live. Why has He done all that for us? Why? The question is why. You see, my dear brothers and sisters, Allah wants us to understand His methods in many ways. On one hand, He has created us this body, given it life from a tiny speck of dust. And in a different way from the other creations, in addition to that, He has given us a capacity and a potential which He did not give the other creatures. And what is that? He has put into every human being a non-physical element called the soul. So we have a body which is alive, it has life. And we have a soul which is attached to this body, which is something that is non-physical. It is not physical. So you can't know it through reason and logic. You can't understand how it works. You cannot know much about it. Because this is you. Why? Because you cannot project your mind to something that is not physical, that is existing inside of you. Look, there are so many things that we know about, but we really cannot describe. For example, strength. What is strength? Something inside of us. We know it is there. We can use it, but we can't describe it. Beauty. What is beauty? We talk about beauty. What actually it is? How can we define it? How can we describe it? You see? There is a little bit of a story in Urdu. Well, I don't know if English has it. Samson and Delilah. Right? It's called in Urdu Laila Majnun. So, the king wanted to know from Samson why he's so crazy after Laila. What is the cause? That is the reason. When he checked on Laila, he saw she was not a very beautiful girl. She was dark complexion and she was this and that and so on. So he called Samson and said, why do you love that woman so much? She doesn't seem to be beautiful. He said, okay, if you want to see her beauty, you have to take my eyes to see. You see the point? Who is to define what beauty is? We know it is existent, but we really cannot define it. Like that. Like that. We know there is something called the soul. We know it is existing. We know it is inside of us because Allah says so. Good. But what about it? We know very little. If there is anything like that. And how do we do that? We say